Hey everyone, welcome back to Manny's Game Room. I've just recently uploaded a full 2026 arcade game room tour. This one's a quick walkthrough just so you can take in the sights and sounds, the new lighting and everything that we've set up for 2026. So I'll just take you through really quick, but if you want a full comprehensive look, check out our latest full tour. Starting off, got our Sega Master System 2, Nintendo 64, PlayStation 2 Fat Edition, Super Nintendo, Atari's 2600 Junior Edition. I like this one better than the actual 600, probably because I grew up with it. And Sega Dreamcast, up to Sega Mega Drive, and we've got our restored NES with a clone console on top for a rainy day, which does happen sometimes. Along here, I used to have a whole heap of toys and knickknacks, but these are pretty much all I got left now. I sold a lot off. Sega Mini, which I've added extra games onto. Got our Super Nintendo Mini and NES Mini. Again, I don't have a heap of consoles, hard copy games for consoles, so these fill out my collection beautifully. There's an AV switcher there, just to help switch between consoles and not have so many plugs in the TV. Amiga 500 with that big joystick there, which I love to use. These speakers here are hooked up to this surround sound system. These speakers, along with the two towers on either side of the unit, and this subwoofer here, are all hooked up to this amplifier. I haven't got it on now, but it really kicks when you use it. I just love how retro this is. It just suits my room perfectly and it works fantastic. Over here we've got some big box games. I love big box games, they look so great on a shelf. Up top we have our just some loose cartridges, which are a couple of favorites of mine. I tend to rotate them around for display. Over here we've got our Nintendo section in the display cabinet with a Game & Watch and also some Game Boy games. Some Sega Mega Drive games and Nintendo carts. Down here we have some, there's some more Sega games. As you can see, I don't have a real big hard copy collection, which is why I like to emulate, because it's way too expensive to try and do it these days any other way. And here we've got a Sega Master System, Atari games, some Nintendo boxes. Down here we've got a Pac-Man Coleco mini arcade, which still works. I love the sounds it makes. And we've got this Pong system over here. That was our first ever system at home. And we'll close it up. Moving over to the arcades, we've got this Pac-Man arcade 1-up, which has this awesome deck. Pretty good controls. They're not amazing, but they're pretty good controls. Pretty spot on. And there's that bezel with that side art as well. Love that side art, it brings back so many memories. Yes, I'm that old, this was in the arcade when I was around. I was actually born in 1980, so I think Pac-Man was too. NBA Jam, arcade 1-up. The deck is really handy because it's well labeled for every player. So when we have games, people don't have to ask what button's what. Comes with NBA Jam Tournament Edition and Hang Time. Hang Time's not bad, but I still like the other two better. Side art's super cool and exactly like it was back in the arcades. Gameplay is spot on. Whoever did a job of recreating that ROM was really good at what they did. This Turtles game, it doesn't have a lit marquee, but that doesn't bother me. It's actually a really well done cabinet. And I just love this cityscape, the way the turtles are drawn. It's exactly what it was like at Skateway when I used to go there. and not skate and play Ninja Turtles. And it's got 2 games. It's got this original Turtles game, and it also has this Turtles in Time, which is really cool as well. They're both amazing for 2 different reasons. Some cool art on the riser there, and the side art, of course, matches up with what was on back in the day. And this is our latest edition, Time Crisis. It also comes with Point Blank and Steel Gunner 1 and 2. I never thought I'd get my hands on this cabinet just because of the price of it. And it's got 2 guns, which are pretty well weighted. They're Sinden guns. And what I like about it is they have recoil. So if you don't like recoil, you just, I can't do it with one hand. You just pull this back and press that button and it will pin the recoil back. So it's got a molded coin door as well. Some people say the molded coin door is too low, but if you played Time Crisis in the arcade, it actually was that low. The pedal comes out as far as you want. It's got a massive lead on it, so you can go back as far as you like. And the art's just exactly like it was. These speakers here, I love the way they're mounted and molded into the cabinet, along with the marquee. Some people online have been complaining about the size of the screen. Not a problem for me. I'm actually really heavily short-sighted, and I still have no problems gunning them down. So again, it's a bit hard to see because I've got the side art butted up, but just a well-done machine over here too. We've got our Pac-Man stools, which are super comfy. And if you're wondering why I kept the Pac-Man one low, it's because the boys really love coming down here and they just love being on that low seat. They like to play Dig Dug and Mappy and Gallagher as well, actually. Over here we have this MAME or multi machine, and it's really cool because anything I don't have, I was able to install on here. So all your Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat, that sort of stuff. The buttons are really solid, and my sister-in-law printed out this Manny's game room. There's also some side art, but now that I've got so many arcades, which is awesome, a problem to have, they sort of go against each other. But that doesn't matter. When you go to an arcade, that's what tended to happen anyway. Over here, I've got a PC hooked up to this monitor. Right now it's running a DOS game, one of my favorite all-time, Street Rod. And there it is there, there's the PC. And I also have hooked up to this PC these Roland Cakewalk speakers, and they really pump. And they're 2 channels, so my other computer next to it also runs out of it. So it's handy because I can play Sinden games that I didn't have on the Time Crisis unit with this light gun. Games like Duck Hunt, Transformers, heaps. I'll actually do a video on my shooting game soon. And I've also hooked up these pedals so I can play games like Mario Kart Arcade or Batman or Wacky Races. Again, I'll do a video on that too coming up. I've hooked up this PS2 Slim to this TV as well, which also works with this wheel. So when you're playing something like Gran Turismo 3, you've got that rumble effect, which is what this one was built for. Pretty awesome. And also I have this Mac over here, which I use for music production. Bear with me, sorry. Here it is here. So I've got my MIDI keyboard, and we make music for Spotify and Apple Music. It's called Dreaming Melodies. I'll put a link to it in the comments as well. It's for relaxation and sleep. We're up to 4 million streams worldwide. Oh, also down here, I've got these speakers, and these speakers are hooked up to this PS4. And the reason is because when you're playing PS2. When you're playing arcade racing games, the rumble and the sound comes from below you. So it gives you that arcade experience. And it's so cool. I'm so glad I thought of it. I just fluked it one day. This is called a Lexicon Alpha. That's for recording. So you can plug in instruments and microphones. So this room also doubles as a studio. I've had some friends come over and do some guitar and singing recording, and that's come in really handy too. My dad made this Pokemon chair for my boys, and they still sit on it even though they're a bit bigger now. I've got this cupboard here, which has all the boys' sports equipment and all our video game controllers. This booth here is a seating booth, but also it holds all our spare games and Guitar Hero guitars and all our Skylanders and all that sort of stuff. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed the walkthrough. It was supposed to be a short one, but I had a lot to say. And like I say, check out the full tour. I'll leave a link in the description below. Have a good one. I'll put a link to the full tour video in the description and also a link to my son's YouTube channel, Peter's Game Room. So check that one out too. He's doing really well and he's off to a good start.